UMTMC Meeting. Wait, what's this? Okay, continue. And before we start our meeting, there are a few house rules which you must remember. The first one is remember to unmute yourself when others are speaking, and remember to mute yourself when others are speaking, and unmute yourself if you are requested. Second, if the condition surrounds you permits, you may try to switch on your camera. Third, and the last one, and the most interesting one, enjoy lah. Okay, so now I will pass the baton to our president, Toastmaster Kian Ting, for his opening speech.
Thank you, Kenneth, for being the SAA for today's meeting. And again, I want to thank you all for attending this meeting and also welcome you all. Today it is actually our new EXCO team, first time hosting this meeting. So there are difficulties, of course, and we are trying to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible and you all have a great time here. So without further ado, I will start my opening statement for today's meeting. So for today's meeting, we have a few guests here. Like, for example, we have our distinguished Toastmaster Patricia with us today in today's meeting, as well as some of our evaluators are also from external club, for example, Justin and Ilya, but I think they are not here yet. Okay, so for today's meeting, our theme is actually a safe school for all. So why do we choose this theme as today's meeting? It is actually quite kind of related to the current issues that our country are now facing, where we are the sort of idea that sexual harassment, this sort of issues has been arising, and it has been also a hot topic being discussed. So I think that school is also, like for us students, we imagine school as a place that is safe for us all, like a safe environment for us to live in. But it seems that right now it is not as safe as it could be. So maybe later during the meeting we can find out, what is going on with our school right now in Malaysia. And also for today's word of the day is fanatical, and I hope that you all can use the word throughout the meeting. And without further ado, I'll pass the floor to our Toastmaster of evening for today's, which is Joshua. So over to you, Joshua.
Thank you, President Kian Ting. Hi, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Tonight, I will be your Toastmaster of the evening. Allow me to share my screen. I can't share my screen.
Kian Ting, I think you need to make Joshua co-host.
Oh, okay. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so for today, it is our 312th meeting, the theme Safe School for All, and word of the day, fanatical. Before we begin with our speech sessions, let me give a brief history of Toastmasters Club. So who started it? Ralph C. Smedley. Where and when it began at YMCA, as Ralph C. Medley was the Director of Education in YMCA. And the first official Toastmasters International meeting was conducted in 1924. But why Toastmasters Club was formed? It was formed because Ralph C. Smedley think that there is a need for the community to learn how to speak, conduct meetings, plan programs, and work on committees. Overall, it's like he's trying to raise up a leader by introducing this club. And so soon, Toastmasters Club, this club was later spread on to the community around, as well as other states in USA. And later on, Toastmasters slowly built up and become a big and popular club. And so right now, I would like to introduce our role players for this evening. First of all, I would like to invite our grammarian for tonight to introduce himself. Kenteng.
So thank you, Joshua, for the introduction. So hello, everyone. So for today's meeting, the word of the day is fanatical, Fanatical, fanatical. So what does fanatical means? Fanatical actually means that something that is you are extremely interested in something to a degree that some people find unreasonable. So for example, how can we use the word fanatical? She's fanatical about healthy eating, or his enthusiasm for coding was almost fanatical. So as a grammarian for today, I will make sure that all the members are aware of the proper use of language. And also I will take note on any grammatical errors, like for example, misused word, incorrect pronunciation, cliche, poor sentence structure, excellent use of word, phrases, or sentences. And one note for you all is that try whenever possible to use our word of the day, fanatical, as much as possible. Back to you, Toastmaster Evening.
Thank you, our grammarian Kenteng. Next, I would like to invite our R counter, Elaine, to introduce herself. Elaine, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay. Can you introduce your role as the R counter?
All right. Thank you, Joshua. So, greetings to fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crunch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Elaine. Next, I would like to invite Resmi to introduce his role as the timer. Resmi, over to you.
Hello, thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. As a timer, my role is to remind all speakers how much time they will spend on their speech so that we will run this meeting on time. Back to Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, thank you, Resmi. And lastly, we would like to invite our general evaluator for this meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia Yap from Berjaya University College.
Hi, everyone. I am Patricia from Berjaya Liquid Gold and also Royal Premier. And the latest club I joined is actually Smedley Chapter 1 in Founders District, which is the first club in the entire Toastmasters International. So for some of you, if you would really like to visit, yes, I'm going to invite you next time as my guest. Just let me know end of the meeting. And besides, today is actually my first time at University of Malaya, and I feel super excited, even though I'm not fanatical yet. But I believe later on, I'm going to have a great time because all of you are going to be served by our tech team, timer, accounter, and grammarian. And at the same time, we have a fabulous team of speech evaluators and table topic evaluator to make sure we are going to have maybe a fanatical time. Who would like to have a fanatical time? Please put your name in the chat box right now. With this, yeah, or send me emoticon, yes. And with this, I shall pass the control over to.
Thank you, Patricia. I'm sure you will have a fanatical time with our club. Wait. All right. So for today's meeting, we will have 3 sessions plus 1 bonus quiz. First off, we will start with our table topic session. It is an impromptu session where a random topic will be given to a speaker who has to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Next, after the table topic session, we will have a prepared speech session where the members will present their speech with specific objectives based on their level. After the prepared speech, we will have evaluation session where the speakers receive constructive feedback on their speeches, and perhaps they would improve and be better in their future speech. Lastly, it's the first time for us conducting this quiz session where it will test your memory and see who is it that gave that speech. Without further ado, let us begin our table topics session. May I invite our table topics master, Ben Ong, to present the table topics.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Kenting, can you make me the co-host? I'm sharing a screen.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Thanks. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, right now, the table topic session will be e-learning situation because our theme tonight is about school and university, safe school and university, I think. It was initially e-learning, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so in this table topic session, there's only 2 table topics since we have a slight constraint on time. And in this table topic session, you're role-playing as an online student. I know most of you are already students, but some of you have already graduated and some of you are working adults. So in tonight's table topic session, no matter who you are playing the role as an online student. So what I will do in this table topic session is that I will assume that you didn't pay attention to my class, and I'll ask you to explain what I have explained inside the class, even though you don't know what I explained because you didn't pay attention. Okay, so for an example, okay, I will say, hey Sean, I just wanted to make sure you listened to my class just now, and that class was basic entrepreneurship. So Sean, can you please repeat the story that I just told the class, and can I know the moral of the story? So with that, you need to come up with something. You can come up with anything just to make your way to answer the teacher. Okay, is everyone clear with that? Give me a thumbs up if you're okay. Okay. Good. And I know it may sound quite challenging, but I can assure you, you can talk about anything that you see from the picture, anything that you can imagine. All right. So can I have the first volunteer? Anyone? Oh, Neshan, you want to try? Okay, Neshan. All right. There's no option for you to choose, and I'll straight give you the title. All right. And here is it. Okay, Neshan, you're learning basic philosophy, and I was explaining about this horse. Can you tell me why is one the horse on the balcony and what we can learn from him? Why is one the horse on the balcony and what can we learn from him? Neshan, over to you.
When I look at this horse, I immediately think of myself back in high school. Back in high school, I was very much like this horse. I would observe and witness everything going around, but I wouldn't really understand it. This is because since the age of 10 years old, I could not really understand the reasoning behind a lot of the ways that Malaysians run our education system. For example, we have prize-giving ceremonies and awards that reward people on the basis of extrinsic motivation, which takes away from the intrinsic motivation and desire for learning. Students in school, for some reason, have a lack of empathy or self-awareness when they're 13 to 14. And so if you were to live your life in a state of questioning why things are a certain way, then you will go through an inordinate amount of stress. What this horse has taught me is that there is no need to question anything. You just have to look at it, witness it, understand how it is, and if you can, stay away or avoid it. The most important thing that I understand from this horse is also understanding two more things: your difference and having boundaries. So this horse clearly can tell he's probably different, probably due to circumstance or development or birth, that he is now staying on the second floor of a building. To accept that is one thing. So he, in a way, has accepted his own identity. You don't see him trying to jump off and fly off a cliff and saying, I want to commit suicide. So this horse has gotten acceptance and self-awareness. The second thing is this barrier. There is a very large temptation when you are in a situation where you may not be happy with the way things are. Putting up barriers or boundaries, it doesn't mean you're disconnecting from others, but it's more or less protecting yourself so you can be there for others. For the onlookers, it's an interesting sight. You can see a horse, a very pretty horse from the distance. You don't lose out on anything. You see a pretty sight. So through this horse, I've learned how to witness situations without getting involved in them. I also understand how to put my boundaries in situations I'm not comfortable. And lastly, just accepting that I'm different. So ladies and gentlemen, let's thank this horse, John. Thank you, John.
Man, you are muting.
Thanks, Kaman. Neshan, to be honest, I'm disappointed at you because I was not teaching about this, although what you said is very true and it's another philosopher's philosophy. But today, the philosophy that I'm teaching is that sometimes we don't have to, when we do something, there's no need reason for it. Like Luan, he's standing on the balcony staring down from the second floor for no reason. Yeah, so that's the philosophy for today. But I love the philosophy that you gave us just now. Okay, can I have the second challenger or volunteer? Rasmi or Sean, you want to try? Anyone? I can see Sean is very excited.
I'll give it a go.
Okay, yes. Okay, Sean. Okay, Sean, you are listening to human psychology subject, and I was teaching about this psychology between humans. So can you please repeat about the story that I just said and what did you learn from my story just now? So please repeat the story and what did you learn from that story just now, Sean?
Thank you, Teacher Ben, for sharing that story. I agree with you that we are facing what we call a generation gap, where the dog at the left represents the generation of our fathers and our forefathers, where they are very tough, and we are stuck in a situation where we are sort of being weakened or being now by our pleasures of ease of technology, things like that, and things that were so difficult things were so easy in the past were perceived as very difficult right now. Let's take for a simple example. Recently, the government just announced that the UPSR will be abolished due to the psychological impact that students may have if they were subjected to exam-oriented syllables. Back in the days, we were having like what? PTS, UPSR, PMR, SPM, STPM. It was basically exams from the day you started reading, from the day you graduating until you're working. And even in working, people are still giving examinations. But right now, no, the current situation is that kids must be learning through fun, through exploratory exams and things like that. Exam is a big no-no, and we give a lot of excuses for ourselves to say that we shouldn't give our future generation exam. This represents the human psychology where we tend to be complacent and we move towards convenience, but not knowing that sometimes through hardship, we learn to be stronger, we learn to be resilient, and we learn to be agile. In our current situation right now, and I think in the story that you shared with our forefathers where they fought World War II and survived, things like that, now we complain about minute things about I don't know, I cannot go online and I cannot go out for shopping. Back in the days, I think pandemic, we were stuck in the situation where we're supposed to stay at home safe and we're supposed to be looking into ways of survival. Now we complain about simple things that we take for granted. So Teacher Ben, I think you share a very good point that generations has changed, human psychology has changed. And I think in many ways, we should reflect on how we take things for granted. Back to you, Teacher Ben.
Yes, Sean, my favorite student, top student of the class, of course. You explained it very well. And now, Headmaster Kenting, do we have time for another challenger? Because I was informed there's only 2 slots. Is there a time?
Give me a minute.
Okay.
I'll confirm again.
Based on the agenda.
We have
table
time.
topic is until 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one more challenger. Anyone? Anyone?
So James, is he a guest?
Do you want to try, James?
Or is it too hard? Because it's quite challenging.
Yeah,
Topics.
it's quite challenging.
Yeah. I nominate Carl.
Carl, okay.
Can I pass it to someone else? I do not know the rules.
Just
Okay, Carl, I'll explain to you one.
Okay.
Okay. So we are playing e-learning situations, and you are role playing as an online student. So I'll assume that you didn't listen to my class, and I'll come at you angrily, ask you to explain about what I have taught just now, and you need to come up with something so that you can answer the teacher.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
So I will show you a slide like this, just a picture, and I'll ask you to repeat what I've just taught you, and you need to come up with something.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, Carl, your topic is you're learning the subject of physics, and I've just explained to the class about how Godzilla and Kong was able to stand on the ship even though they are so damn heavy. So can you explain to the class again about the physics of how it works? Okay, over to you, Carl.
I'm given this question, Professor, and what I needed to repeat is that when I was listening to your lecture, I was thinking, wow, how is it impossible? But then thanks to your lecture, I finally understood. So to repeat what you said is that, well, Godzilla has a certain kind of buoyancy compared to King Kong, right? Because Godzilla is like a lizard. I know we're not doing biology, but like physics-wise, right? The shape of Godzilla it has a high surface area and thus created this kind of uplift force. Yeah, I believe I heard the word you said uplift just now. I was looking at my phone, but I'm just like, I heard uplift, and I'm very, very sure that's how the god king of all lizard monsters, Godzilla, is able to float on top. And then because of that, right, some kind of buoyancy is going on, and when he goes onto the ship, and of course, he will find that, yeah, the buoyancy can transfer magically because of thermodynamics and a change in gravitational force moved him on top of the ship. Now, when it comes to King Kong, right, I wasn't paying close attention. I'm so sorry, Prof. But here's my theory, okay? I will suggest my theory using what I understood from 2-3 lectures of yours before. King Kong lives on land, so he should be very heavy. Why isn't he falling down? That's because, right, I believe the theory of air movements, aerodynamics, has pushed the movement of air. Because suddenly, right, when Godzilla was standing next to King Kong, Godzilla created a change in gravitational force through the sudden whooshing of air and then blow King Kong. And because of his fur, right, maybe he's also lifted up using the same electromagnetic force. I got it correct, right, Professor? Correct, right? I'm trying my hardest.
Maybe. Is that all? Is that all, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, to be honest, I'm very impressed by your speech and how you explain it. Just that this photo I was talking about is just movie physics. I was explaining to the class how this is not possible and this is just movie physics. But you come up with something that doesn't make sense, but it uplift. Just now you said uplift. Yeah,
Yes.
it uplifted our mood today. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for tonight's table topic session. I hope you guys like it. Okay, I'll pass it back to the table topic, the Toastmasters of evening, Joshua.
Thank you, Ben, for that wonderful table topic session. This is like the first time where you introduce a teacher and student situation. I also enjoy the session too, though. So now we would like to let you guys vote who is the best speaker.
Yeah, Joshua, I think.
Yep.
I think the names are wrong. It should be a best prepared. Best.
Sorry, that is the wrong poll because just now we just make 2 slots for table topics, so we assume that there's no winning speaker. So I'll make another poll for that. Just
Okay.
Give me a minute.
I thought it was reverse meeting again.
It's okay, first time. So can think we will be voting right now or we will go to a break first?
Yeah, I think go for breakfast. So because I'm still preparing the poll.
Okay.
Maybe before we go for a break, let's take a group photo.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, open your cam. Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, cheese. All right, now do a funny pose. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, thank you guys. Now we would have a 5 minutes break. Yes, 5 minutes break. And we'll be back at 8:05 p.m.
Yeah, so welcome Ilya to the meeting. And let's get started. I will pass the floor back to, or is it TME, Joshua? Yeah, Joshua, over to you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mingkang, for passing back. Right now, we would begin our next session, which is the prepared speech session. So for our first prepared speech speaker for today is Yuqin, who will be doing her title Pong. Yuqin, Pong, Yuqin. Oh wait, but before I forget, may I invite her evaluator to state out the objective of level 1 icebreaker?
Ladies and gentlemen, the speaker today, Yuqin, MS3, will have to deliver her icebreaker for her second part that she's attempting. The purpose of this speech or this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nishan. And now I would once again invite Yuqin to give her speech, Pong.
Sorry, Joshua. How about the notes for evaluator? How about the notes for evaluators read by our GE?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Now I would like to invite our general evaluator to say out the notes for our evaluator number 1, Nishan.
All right, Nishan, this is for you. So glad to see you now as a student instead of a contestant. Okay, great. Nishan, this is for you. And you're going to evaluate our friend Yuchin today as she does her icebreaker. So we are here to encourage her. Don't worry about the 2 advanced communication skills that she's going to pick up. And I'm looking forward to your motivational speech to elevate Yuchin to the next level with this. Nishan, give me a high five and you're all ready to go. Yay! Back to you, Joshua.
Thank you, Patricia. Okay, now finally, Eugene, you may start your speech. Pong, level 1 icebreaker. Eugene, Pong, Pong, Eugene.
Eugene, you are muted.
Thanks for alerting. Thank you, our Toastmaster of the evening, Joshua. So when speaking of pong, what kind of things that you think of? Ping pong biscuits, or beer pong? So to a lot of members in Toastmaster Club, right, I always address myself as Yuchin, and Pong actually is my family name. So this is a story about Pong Eugene. And when I was 20, I got an offer from University of Malaya. And when I first learned about University of Malaya is back in my primary school, is when they classify the students' performance in accordance to the university ranking. That's how I learned about University of Malaya. And on 28th of August 2015, yeah, I enrolled into University of Malaya and stepped into this hostel called College Kediaman Tuanku Kusya, whereby our proud alumni is our very first lady in Malaysia. Guess who? Datin Sri Rosman Mansor. So yeah, she is our actually proud alumni. And last time back in during Najib time, we have this piala called Rosma Piala. So I get into this 3 people room and get very disappointed with the hostel condition. No water heater and no water filter, no microwave. How can I heat up my food? I cannot cook. And there's a shared table among 3 people, no privacy. How can I talk to my boyfriend that time? So yeah, speaking of this, right, I actually did survive for my past 4 years back in uni, hostel, suffering life. And I still recall that when I first entered that, it was a Merdeka night and we stayed up late night until 2 a.m. just to celebrate our Merdeka days. So, and then I got an offer. I did a degree of accounting. So as an accounting graduate, I appreciate the learning curve provided by the faculty. I would say that it provides us a wholesome syllabus, and I did struggle with all the P&L, amortization, depreciations, revenue, profit, cost of goods sold. And yeah, to sum up, if I could use a word to describe it for my academic degree life, I would say it's boring. That's why at the end of the day, I do not become a successful ACCA certified accountant or auditor. So I'm just a little me, currently work as a little associate in a little non-bank. So, and then fast moving forward, in my second half of my 3rd year, I joined University Malaya Toastmaster Club, and I'm very proud to be one of the first few female members in the club. So, to all female guests who still hesitating whether to join Toastmaster Club or not, yeah, so do join the club, and I believe that all of the members will treat you as our precious baby girls. So I do join 4 of the birthday party, our anniversary. I joined 2 speech contests, chair 1 speech contest. And I still recall that when I first did my icebreaker in my first pathway, I was still a 4-month-old Toastmaster. And this is my second pathway, second icebreaker speech, and I'm now a 3-year-old Toastmaster. And fast forward that, I do appreciate, I did enjoy my uni life a lot. The condition of my hostel teach me that I can easily survive in any worst condition of hotel where I'm traveling. And my accounting degree actually helped me how to do my personal finance. I have no problem understand of a company financial statements and balance sheets, though it's a boring subject to me. And by joining Toastmasters, I think I conquer my fear a bit, though that I still appear to be a little bit fears in speaking in front of the public. But I think I'm better off compared to my first icebreaker. And I somehow look forward to my third icebreaker speech, if there's any chance. So I joined Toastmaster from physicals until virtual. And I hope that I can join the transitions from the virtual to the physical meeting as well. So to all the Toastmaster members, I really look forward to seeing you and to more of our Mama sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Eugene. That was a nice speech. You also tell us a bit more about how you drop accountings and stuff and the Rosma Piala, which I think is good. Okay, moving on. Our next speaker is wait, hold on. Our next speaker would be Jeff Ng. His title is Zoom as a Next Gen Cinema. Right now, I would like to invite his evaluator to state the objective for this level 3 reaching consensus.
Thank you, Toastmasters of the evening. Purpose of his speech is for him to work with a group to practice reaching consensus on any topic. Speech title 20 minutes and 2 to 3 minutes of closing statement. Back to you, Toastmasters of the evening.
Thank you, Evaluator Justin. Now I would like to invite our General Evaluator, Patricia, to state the notes for this level 3 for the evaluator.
All right. Now I'm sort of caught in between because I don't have the notes to the evaluator, but I believe, Justin, you will do justice by giving a lot of encouragement and also awesome feedback to Jeff Ng. So I'm more than delighted to hear your evaluation later on. All the best to Justin and Jeff. Back to you, Joshua.
Thank you, Patricia. Now let us invite Jeff to give his title, Zoom as the Next Gen Cinema. Zoom as the Next Gen Cinema, Jeff Ng.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. But before I begin my speech, let me set the settings first, because apparently I think the PME has missed out the part. So I will need all of you to be either the investors, the important people in the entertainment industry, government stakeholders, as well as people who are in relation to the cinema industry before I begin this speech. Yeah, just to set up the meeting. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow stakeholders, and also to my fellow colleagues, and as well to my fellow leaders. We are now in the midst of a very interesting situation, and I, myself, representing the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission representative, would like to propose a new idea on a next generation cinema. We all know that we all have been very fanatical when it comes to movies, even when it comes to horror movies, romantic movies, animes, cartoons, and etc. And we all know that movies play an important part in developing our relationship with our loved ones. But nevertheless, right now we are in the era of Industry Revolution 4.0. And interestingly enough, we are also in the midst of a pandemic situation that we all know is currently unavoidable. So fellow stakeholders, I'm here to actually discuss with you and also to reach a consensus with all of you here to perhaps consider using Zoom as the future generation cinema to all the industry in Malaysia. So my first point is that I felt that cinemas lately has been underutilized, and we all know that the entertainment industry has been badly affected, right? And even though our next generation really loves movies, we find that most of the students and as well as most of the young adults, they would prefer Netflix and chill, or in other words, they would prefer an interesting concept, such as to have a drive-by cinema that has been proposed by a new entertainment industry lately. My second point is that it's also to provide a safe and good environment for all of us to actually enjoy a very good movie at the comfort on your own home, but at the same time will not be neglecting the industry that has been affected due to this situation. And my third point is that I really would want all of you here to really consider to use online platforms as our future solutions, because we have a lot of new apps. We have used a lot of online platforms for shopping, for sales, for medical situations, for paying our bills, for finance, and etc. So I would like all of you here, fellow stakeholders, whether you are from a communication company like a Telecom Malaysia or even Maxis, or even a representative from the cinema industry such as GSC, TGV, MBO perhaps, and also finance sectors like banks. I want all of you to actually raise out your opinions, and we see whether we can reach consensus whether or not we can use Zoom as our next generation cinema. So perhaps like any one of you would like to have any questions, or do you want to discuss further on any of the points that you want?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I
Who is this?
am.
Yep.
I'm a worker. I'm a CEO from Telecom Malaysia.
Right.
So, my point is this: until we fix our bad internet connections, I don't think this is a good choice to use Zoom as an online movie. Yeah, until we fix our bad internet, I don't think it's a good choice.
All right. Yep. Thank you so much for your suggestion. And I do believe that our internet connection does seem to be badly affected, especially in these times. But we do need cooperation from telecommunication companies such as Telecom to actually try to upgrade our unified systems perhaps, or even to allow a new kind of inventions and innovations such as 5G, right, which has been implemented in China and also in America to actually enhance our internet connection. So perhaps we can discuss more on this though, before we reach our consensus. But thank you so much for your suggestion. And we would like to hear anyone else, any other stakeholders who agree or rather disagree with the idea.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Benjamin. And your company, I'm your company. So you take our money and you do this kind of thing.
Hey, no. It's not that.
I mean, like
to...
Zoom. Okay, I mean like Zoom. It's so laggy. I mean, when the customers telecommunication is bad and it's very laggy. So how can Zoom compare to Netflix when there's already Netflix? Why do we need Zoom as the next gen of cinema?
All right, that's a good question, and I believe you have raised the question about finance. So let me answer the question about finance first. I would like to assure all the financial investors that we all in this together, and I just want to tell you that even though that our finance sector has been affected due to this situation, but we must work together with the cinema industry because they are the ones that really provide us with the entertainment that we want. Some of these movies may not be found in Netflix, such as our local movies. I think a lot of people would miss like a Name With Nasi Lemak, for example, which is not easily available in other countries. So this is one of the exclusive movies that we may want to look forward to. And also, if let's say that you would prefer certain animes, which is not widely publicized and also rather licensed in certain cinemas, I believe that by using Zoom as the online platform with a better connection, of course, and of course, with the good support of finance, we can actually be able to cater to all these audiences exclusively and not just Netflix. No doubt, Netflix will have a very good stream of channel like Disney Plus, and we all know that Disney and Netflix, they are closely associated. But we do know as well that cinemas also associated with some of their media partners as well. And it is important to give them the limelight, as equal limelight as possible, rather than just focus on Netflix. So this is my opinion in terms of finance. To improve further in terms of how we can do it, I can suggest that our cinemas provider could be the main host, since they will be the ones that, of course, they're showing all the movies. So it's fair enough for them to be the host. But of course, we'll need a very good hotspot, high-speed internet connection. I know Maxis does have a high-speed internet connection to know when we subscribe to a very much higher level. And we do know that with higher internet connection, we can actually show a very good movie. And we can be on par with Netflix as well. So I hope that I can convince you, to actually join us to establish this platform with us. Yeah. Any other questions?
Sorry, Jeff, I think my connection lost just now. Can you please repeat what's your proposal?
Right. My proposal is to actually to have Zoom as the next generation cinema, as I mentioned. And perhaps the most important factor that we want to know right now is the money factor, the connection factor, and also the industry relations. So we want to know more opinions from your side to understand better before we reach an agreement on whether or not we want to use Zoom. Of course, I believe that the benefit of using a virtual platform to publicize, or rather to show movies, are very beneficial as well.
Speaking about using Zoom, right? I know that Zoom has these functions of recording. So what if people just share in a Facebook and then copyright issues? Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
All right, thank you so much. It's also one of the reasons why I would suggest that the cinema will be the host for the Zoom, simply because the host will have a main function to record, and it will disallow other people to actually use the record function to use it. No doubt some people will utilize other means to record it, but nevertheless, it's also important for us to actually streamline this as well. And we can actually use a registration list from Zoom as a means to actually find out who are these people who actually bought the virtual ticket and actually watched the movie. And it's also the initiative to reduce the piracy. And I know for a fact, even though we are in a physical cinema, piracy is still an issue. But nevertheless, with the virtual platform, I believe that it can be controlled as similarly as the physical cinema. Yep.
And why Zoom? Why not Microsoft Teams? Why not Webex? And then why not Skype? Why not Google Hangout?
All right. I mean, that's a good question as well. I believe that sometimes we do need virtual interactions, and one of the ideal situations for cinema is for us to connect with our customers, right? And our customers, sometimes they have friends from overseas. Sometimes we have friends from different states and also from different districts. And we do believe in the current situation right now, we may not be able to meet our friends virtually.
Hi there, hi.
Yes.
Wait. I'm Mr. Yam. I'm actually the CEO of Hangout. So
Yeah.
I can tell you that my portfolio of Hangout is actually way better than Zoom, because we don't face these internet connectivity issues, as well as I want to bring this idea to you, Mr. Jeff. Why not use Hangout rather than Zoom? Because Hangout can actually accommodate more people, as well as we don't have the timeout limit for movies to actually showcase to people. So
And I'm a loyal user of Hangout as well.
Yeah,
so I think that Hangout is a good
Mr.
platform.
Jeff, I think Hangout is a very good platform here, and Eugene is one of my strongest supporters right over here. So what do you want to share, Jeff?
Right. First of all, Mr. Yam, thank you so much for your suggestion. I do acknowledge Hangout as well as other applications is suitable.
Why you don't want to use Hangout? You are paid by Zoom, is it? You want Zoom as the advertiser, is it? So you don't support my product lah, Hangout, is it? So,
no. That's
Hangout is buatan Malaysia. We should jaga kita.
Yeah, we should support our entertainment industry like what our government says. So support Hangout. So what do you think, Speaker Jeff? So Eugene, thank you so much for your help. I just want to say I want to thank everyone here for the support. For those of you who want, please support Hangout and please use the idea as well. So with that, thank you so much. Eugene, what do you want to say about Hangout? Please tell me more.
Pardon me, but I believe that we can actually discuss this in a more logical manner. And yes, no doubt Hangout is a Malaysian product, and we are Malaysians. Of course, we support Malaysian product, right? And we all know that the quality of other platforms, no doubt, is still useful. We still have Skype, we still have things. But our main concern is still the security. And of course, we Malaysians, we are well known for very poor security these days, and we do not want.
So who say Hangout has very bad security?
No. I did not suggesting that Hangout has poor security. I'm just suggesting that we as Malaysians, we have to take a more proactive actions to enhance our security. I did not mention as the Hangout as a very poor security. I did mention that we Malaysians has to be more proactive and also be more streamlined in this. So once again, thank you so much for your suggestion. I really appreciate that. I still believe that Zoom has better security because we are empowered to control the security measures. And of course, lately we do hear cases from other platforms like Google's, from Skype's, people just Zoom bombing you, and then suddenly, something unexpected happens. Of course, I do not deny saying that Zoom is immune to these situations, but we can streamline this situation by, again, empowering the hosts, which is the cinema providers. So the cinema providers, of course, for the physical meeting, we would, in a physical situation, they are the ones who is controlling the ticketing, they are the ones who is controlling the security, and of course, they are the one who is controlling the traffic of the customers. So if you want to replicate the same thing, so of course, we want the host to do the same thing as well. So that's why we would prefer a very safe virtual platform to enhance the security, right? Of course, there are other options that we can consider. Of course, we can consider other things, and perhaps we can do a future partnership with Hangout for other collaboration, right? Not only just cinema, perhaps like virtual TVs and things like that. I know virtual TVs we have unified, but of course we can make it more competitive since we are lacking in competitive market right now. Yep. So again, thank you so much, Mr. Yam, and also Eugene for supporting Hangout. Yes.
Second row. So selamat pagi Tuan, nama saya Tan Sri Dato Sri Tun Dr. Yam Kaman dari MOTAC. MOTAC stands for Representative of Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. So selamat pagi, saya nak tanya, if according to budget 2021, the entertainment industry is not actually sponsored any money from the government. So we government, we have not enough money, so we can't sponsor this for this issue. So what can you do and to share from the floor, what can we do to solve this issue? Because government never give us money, and I understand if I'm from MOTAC, so I just want to share that we government cannot give you money for this initiative. So any suggestions from that, and how can we government support you on this?
All right, thank you so much, and selamat pagi to Tuan Yam Kaman for your, and also terima kasih atas cadangan anda. I would say that it's a very interesting perspective that we have right now, because we all know that our finance allocation currently has been fully utilized to curb the pandemic situation. So we will appreciate your support in promoting this campaign to us, since we are in the same government agency, we are in the same government. Not to say we are in the same political party, we are in the same government system, so we do want to have help regardless of different opinions and also differences of ideas. We will need your help to actually promote this virtual cinema, not only from the benefit from the tourism sector, but also for the benefit from other ministries and also other sectors. And I do believe that the Ministry of Health will appreciate the initiative as well, since they really want us to stay at home and not to aimlessly going out everywhere just to find for entertainment. So I hope that this platform will be one of the ways to actually to help the Ministry of Health to curb the spread further, and also to enhance our initiative for our future Industry Revolution 4.0 in the near future. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Excuse
So,
me,
yes.
excuse me. Mr. Jeff, I'm suddenly am a CEO for 31st Century Ox. You know the movie 31st Century Ox. I would like to ask, if we are using Zoom for our movies, how do you ensure that our best watching experience, like the Dolby Atmos or the widescreen, super widescreen, the experience like the Dolby Atmos, all the sounds and the visual, how do you make sure that we can provide our best of the best to the customers? Please justify.
All right, Mr. Min Kang from 31st Century Fox. I would say that again, we need to cooperate together with our host, which is the cinema, and I do believe that we have to work very closely with all of us here together. And the cinema providers, we should select not only the best platform, we should need to select the best person to share the quality animation as well as the quality videos to all of the audience, right? Because I do believe when we share these videos, we do rely on few things: a very stable internet connection. So we really need cinema personnel or people in charge that has a better internet connection, and we would need a very good HD. In other words, we do need one of the staff from the cinema who actually has a very good laptop. So it could be Asus, it could be a MSI laptop. I don't care, but it must have a very high-tech specification so that we can actually share these high-definition videos. And lastly, of course, we must observe that there will be no piracy, and also to streamline the security as well to ensure that your product is sustained. And if we have these three, then we can guarantee that your product will be sustainable as well.
So what Jeff mentioned is one point very nice, which is piracy. So what government can do right now, as from representative from WOTAC, is that we can actually help you guys to screen through all the movies, so that when you show through via Zoom or Hangout, whatever, it is safe for the public, and as well as careful for the people around as well. So what do you think? Anyone from the floor, maybe like anyone who wants to share?
Top 3, I want to ask, as a public, as a member of M40, can I have any incentive if I join this platform?
We can make it rain for you. As government, we can make it rain for you. So we will provide what we call stream cinema. Satu Malaysia, or one not dua Malaysia. We're recording, we cannot say these sort of things. To provide some incentive for people who watch this initiative can get 100 ringgit, so that we can support people in the film industry as well. So
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tuan Young, for your suggestion. And I believe Ministry of Tourism definitely will have a budget to give it to the public, because as you mentioned, we do not have a very good budget, but I believe that Ministry of Tourism do have a budget, so do please support us as well. So yep, I know that we have a lot of things to discuss, but nevertheless, this is a very massive topic for all of the stakeholders here today. And thank you so much again for the discussion. And okay, so now once again, fellow ladies and gentlemen, my fellow stakeholders, from the telecommunications company, from the cinema industry, from the government stakeholders, and from the finance sector, I would like to thank all of you to participate in this discussion. Of course, I can see that most of you are very excited to have a virtual cinema very soon, but whether the platform will be the Zoom or Hangout or even other platforms, I believe that we can actually further our discussion in the next round. But I can see there are a lot of interesting questions and also positive interaction between all of us here today. And I look forward to meet all of you here virtually to ensure that we can provide the best for not only our current Malaysians, but also for our future generations.
Wait, you are ending the discussion without any consensus, or I'm so disappointed meeting with you. Sorry about
no, it's not a definite consensus. Of course, consensus can be reached immediately or even in the future, but I do believe that this has to be planned very thoroughly. So just bear with us for a moment. I know we are in a very unique situation, but nevertheless, thank you so much for having this discussion with us. And of course, we hope that the next round we can have a better perspective and also to conclude much better in our consensus. With that, thank you so much. Back to you, TME.
Thank you, Jeff, for the discussion about Zoom as the next gen cinema. I thought that this title is kind of innovative too, you know. Maybe perhaps one day I should even invite my friends and watch a movie together. Then there'll be like a cinema experience too. And now we would enter our 5 minutes break time, which is from 8:37 to 8:42. Yes.
How is it, Jeff? How do you feel?
20 minutes is very long. Yeah, I feel like
Hang
discussing
out.
meeting where I tell you, yeah.
Not like a Q&A session, you know.
It just seems the way I was expecting a much more thorough discussion.
So yeah.
Hmm.
Later let the evaluator comment on that. Yeah, just be the devil's advocate just now. So sorry about that.
No worries.
Hey, it's so sad there's no one supporting you.
It's that way.
We're all being opposition.
Netflix.
I think in real life is like this one. Don't worry.
Yeah, true.
In a real situation, when you're asking people, you know, to put in money to invest, this is what's gonna happen. So
no one likes giving money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, having a label as an MC representative doesn't really help actually from the beginning. That's why, yeah. That's why I was expecting much more discussion because I'm putting that as a forefront.
But nevertheless, you did a very good job keeping the meeting.
If it's Q&A session, then you did really well. You really can handle all the stakeholders. But consensus-wise, that one will listen to the evaluator to see how is it. Then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a very challenging project. Very challenging.
I've done this before. I have not one but two devil's advocate in my session. One is currently present right now. One of them, the annoying father. How?
How and one more? Who is it?
Iktifa.
How and Iktifa. Hey, Kao, you're so quiet today.
You know.
I'm in between meetings. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I need to learn from Kao. How you manage that?
Split personality disorder.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, not that we want to multitask, but sometimes you really have to, you see. So
Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure, you know, you want to have a workshop like how to multitask, you know, on Zoom.
Well, for me, it's easy because one, I'm actively monitoring and talking. The other, I'm just observing. So that's how I'm doing it. So here, I'm just like, that's why I'm quiet lah.
But the timing wise, you know, how do you actually align your timing? Sometimes it's hard.
It's very hard when you have lots of meetings, right? Right now, we can't go anywhere. Meetings can be done online, so it will always clash.
Yeah. And sometimes, it's not a choice. You have to be there. 2 meetings at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, man.
So usually I would slot myself like maybe in this meeting, I will speak earlier and then I'll be quiet the second half. And then the other meeting, I will speak later, but then quiet in the early half.
Yeah, that's the ideal. It's just that sometimes I find the meeting overruns, you know?
Yeah, it's new normal. New normal right now.
Yeah.
Hi, Kasim.
Hi,
Would you like to introduce yourself as a guest?
Hi. So my name is Kasim. I am a new postgrad student. So I previously is a Toastmaster from JB. So I already here about 1 month. So I just try to join the community here.
Are you in the university?
Yeah, I'm in UM.
Oh,
What are
we
you
should meet
doing?
someday.
Postgraduate, right? Just now you mentioned.
Yeah. I am a computer science graduate, but currently doing research on fiber optic in electrical department.
Oh, fiber optics.
Wow. Fiber optic is the sexy one right now.
Why is it sexy?
I don't know lah.
I think it's
You
the
know, all
fastest,
these-
fastest internet. Fiber.
I mean, all this is like the mega trend now. So anything related, I feel is, you know, is great in demand. That's why I use the word sexy. Is it true, Kasim?
Yeah, because this is my challenge because I'm from different backgrounds. So when I see the fabrication process, then I was shocked because I'm from a software background. Then this is very new thing and challenging, but I'm interested on it because the thing is related to quantum technology. So I just joined it.
Yeah, quantum tech is a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. As long as you have interest, then you should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, our break time is over. Let us
Over.
proceed with the next speech. Okay, for our next speaker is Sibao, who will be presenting his level 5, prepare to speak professionally speech. May I invite his evaluator, Ilya, to give a few notes about this evaluation?
Yes, of course you may, Toastmaster. Good evening, Joshua. Right, Toastmaster C Bao, Game 4. The purpose of the speech is for you to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Time for the speech is 18 to 22 minutes. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Ilya. Now, I would like to invite the general evaluator to give some notes for the evaluation, for the evaluator, sorry.
Patricia. Okay. If no, then I can read for her. Speaking, prepare to speak.
My good.
Okay,
You go ahead and speak for me because just now I didn't unmute.
Oh, okay. So, Ilya, notes for you. The member is completing this project has been working to build the skills necessary to engage an audience for an extended period of time. So about this speech, the member will deliver an engaging keynote style speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, any style the member chooses. The member should demonstrate excellent presentation skills and deliver compelling content. The speech is not a report on the content of the Prepare to Speak Professionally project. Back to you.
Thank you, Ming Kang. Now, I would like to invite our next speaker, Sibao, to give his speech titled Communication. Communication, Sibao.
Let me unmute myself. All right, thanks. So let me share again. Sorry for inconvenience caused. Can you guys hear me right now?
Yes, a bit noisy, but yeah, still can hear you.
Yeah. All right, sorry for the inconvenience caused because I am actually outside right now. And so there'll be some background noises, so just bear with it. Very sorry about that. And yeah, so this is my presentation. And speaking about communication, I believe that everyone here is very good at it. And I am, as a Toastmaster here, I'm still in the journey of learning how to communicate properly. And everyone is learning as well. And speaking of communication, it brings back a lot of memories back when I was still a very young kid. When I saw a girl when I was very young, I would say to her, hey girl, I hope you know chest compression because you took my breath away. The girl will be like, oh, you are so sweet. Being a sweet talker, I always thought that I am a good communicator since I was young. But yeah, jokes aside, and little did I know that communication is a lot more than impressing a girl. It can be a powerful tool if you use it wisely. And it's more than exchange of words. And it can even influence people and sending a heartfelt message to influence people in a positive way. So communication is very important and can be very influential. And I would say I wasn't a guy who is very tactful and careful in using the nicest words when it comes to communication. It is always easier to jump into conclusion and judge based on our past experience when we want to sort of like judge how a person is. And I call it judgmental. And for example, when I see a street cleaner working in the hot sun, I could have thought that he was a guy who had just lost his job, trying very hard to earn money and take care of his family. But I assumed that he must be a lazy bum who refused to work hard. That's why he ended up like that. And it wasn't until I entered medical school, I learned that being able to communicate properly can influence people around me in a positive manner. And as I entered medical school, we were told to talk with patients to come up with a diagnosis and practice from there. We work hard every day just to hope that one day we can give the most accurate diagnosis to the patient. And our dedication to becoming a doctor was almost fanatical in a way. And it reached the point where patients were extremely annoyed with us because we kept asking questions and disregarded their feelings. Yeah. And then there comes a doctor. He taught me an important lesson. He said, I understand that you are eager to learn, but don't ever forget, they are your patients, not your subjects. His words, which I mentioned just now, start with me till this moment. And my life actually took a sudden turn. And my patient liked me. And I like my patient a lot after he told me those words. And it's all about empathy here. It's about being able to emotionally understand how they feel, the patient feel, how to see things from their perspective, because they are patient. So we have to see things from their perspective. And every time when I talk with a patient, the two key things I did with them was that I listen, I empathize. Each of these is extremely important in order to have an emotional connection with them. By doing this, I was able to provide a better healthcare in a way, and most importantly, improve their health literacy. Health literacy is something very vague. So basically, it's something like their ability, a person's ability to understand what a basic healthcare structure is. So if a patient has good health literacy, they can understand what medication, what other treatment is. So that's why health literacy is very important for every patient. That's why with good communication, we can improve everyone's health literacy. And we can encourage everyone to take vaccination after listening to my speech. So any questions you want to ask, Patricia? Since you raised your hand.
Accidentally, I'm just very excited.
It's okay. All right. So speaking about health literacy, it's my job to educate them. So that's why for the next 10 minutes, hopefully, because it will be an 80-minute speech long. Hopefully within 10 minutes, I can share two very interesting story about my encounter with patients, which emphasize on the importance of effective communication. And so here comes the story number one. Story time, it will be more interesting. Less dry, less boring like the facts which I've mentioned just now. So about this story number one, actually this is a diabetic patient. She is just a 10-year-old girl. 10-year-old girl, she did not comply to treatment, meaning that she did not follow treatment. She did not want to take medication. And she often forgets the medication, which is the insulin injection right here, the picture that I'm showing right now. So all of you might wonder, why a 10-year-old girl have diabetes? Like diabetes should be in those who are more elder, who are adult in those age group. So why? So in fact, this girl, she got diabetes type 1, which only occur in kids, in children group. For diabetes type 2 are those who only occur in your parents, your grandpa, grandmother, those who are elder, they'll get diabetes type 2. And for this girl, she needs to take insulin injection because in this diabetes type 1, her pancreas, which produces insulin, if you guys still remember back in your matriculation, SPM old days, pancreas was used to produce insulin. But in this girl, the pancreas was damaged beyond repair and it did not function as usual. So her pancreas was not able to produce insulin. That's why she needs insulin injection constantly to keep her body running as normal. If she does not have insulin, she will die because insulin is a very vital hormone to keep her alive. And in fact, she had to take it for her entire life because her pancreas is not able to produce insulin anymore. And the sad thing about her is that she came into hospital because she had very severe vomiting, abdominal pain, and because of this, she might die because of dehydration, loss of fluid. And after we stabilized her, we actually talked with her, and many people may just brush it off because they might think that she did not comply with the treatment because she's just a kid. She's just being mischievous. She hates the injection because it's painful. She hates it, so that's why she's being naughty here. So then comes a consultant, the biggest boss here, the biggest doctor here. He came and talked with her. And he asked this kid, why you didn't want to take the medication? My dear, why? Are you okay? Next moment, this kid eyes well out. She cried. And she said, I hate it. I hate it because it's so embarrassing to do it in my class. Everyone was laughing at me. It was so ugly to have scars over my stomach like this. It's so ugly. I'm going to live with this for the rest of my life. It's so ugly. Why? Upon knowing the reason for her uncompliance to the treatment, we decided to counsel him. We talked with her. We explained to her, look, I'm sorry that you have to go through this. It's not easy for you as a 10-year-old kid, but look, we can do it better. Come. We talked more about that. And we educated her on the importance of taking insulin. We tell her we need to talk with a teacher, need to make sure that everyone understands your situation so that no one will discriminate you, it's unfair to you. If people understand you better, you don't have to go through this. After the counseling session, she gets better. And in fact, she was happier. And she happily took the medication every day. She complied to treatment. And few months later, she came back. She's normal, very healthy like any other kids. Just like any other kids. You wouldn't even know that she has diabetes type 1. And everyone was very happy for her. Her illness was very well controlled. We all hope that she will not come in again. And this is the power of effective communication. When you actually listen and empathize them, speak from their perspective, understand better. This is story number one. For story number two, it's another person who is a gentleman with epilepsy, frequent seizure attack because of lack of sleep. In fact, if you don't understand what is epilepsy, I will show you a short video on what epilepsy is all about in a moment. So basically, epilepsy is a brain disorder right here, whereby the brain releases abnormal discharges, causing a person who can be normal at this moment suddenly have abnormal movement, behaviors, and even injure themselves, or they can even have those frothy mouth, as you can see from picture, frothy mouth, which can be very scary for those who are looking from the side. So basically, patients with epilepsy, they'll have this abnormal posture and stuff, which can be very scary if you don't understand it. So allow me to share videos. So just a very short video that I want to share to you, every one of you here. So it's okay, the audio is not important. So basically, this is what happened. So look at this. Can you see the mouse cursor? This is a kid. This is the kid. This is a kid. You see with the cap. So this kid actually has epilepsy. He was actually having the aura attack, which is the events that occur before epilepsy. So you can see that he's behaving abnormally, spinning around. He wasn't aware of what he was doing. Actually, right now, he is having an epilepsy attack, a seizure attack. That's why it can be scary. He couldn't control. It's not within his control, and he fell down. And everyone was not aware, and he was there by himself for a few minutes until someone attended to him. People thought that he was just fooling around, but in fact, he was having a disease which can threaten a person's life. If he keeps on staying like that, you can't move, and all the fluid enter his lung, he will die. That's why he needs immediate medical attention. So this is what epilepsy are about. I hope that you all can understand what epilepsy is all about after watching this video. So back to my slides. And yes, so when a person is entirely normal with seizure, they would have seizure attacks. So apparently this patient came in, this 30-year-old gentleman came in because he is lacking of sleep. He couldn't sleep, that's why he had attack. But why? Why? So for normal people, usually they'll just brush it off. They'll just say, oh, they have seizure attack because they don't have sleep. That's why they have attack. Just sleep more, sleep more. Why can't you do that? This is the problem where many people they can't control their disorder, their disease because they lack communication. So at that time, my supervisor, who is an epilepsy specialist, he talked with him. He asked him, why you can't sleep? Why? Do you have any issues lately? I'm really worried about you. Why you can't sleep? Like normal people, they can sleep. And apparently, this gentleman confessed that he has been suffering from anxiety. That's why he can't sleep. He was anxious, he's worried, and he was worried because he lost his job recently. He was afraid that he can't fend for himself and for his family. And as a result, he kept on worrying, and he couldn't sleep, and his seizure attacks increased tremendously over 1 week. After that, we realized that this is the cause of it. So we talked about it. And we even counsel him, tell him, reassure him that everything will be fine. Just need to get a job. And for the meantime, if you have financial difficulty, we'll try to get subsidization for your medication because the medication does not come cheap. So we will help you out. And we refer him to psychiatrists to treat his anxiety because anxiety can be very frustrating, makes you worry all the time. You are very racing, have a lot of racing habits, you can't sleep. And he was treated by a psychiatrist for his anxiety. And weeks later, he felt better. And in fact, he told us that he does not have any seizure attack anymore after he listened to our advice and took our medication and sleep more. And he is right now like any other people, very healthy, walking around, and he recently just got his job. We were all extremely happy for him. So these two stories tells us that and told me taught me that if we just do a little bit more, all you do is just listening and empathizing them. By doing these two important stuff, we can communicate with them better. Communication is more than uttering words. It's exactly more than that. It's just not talk, you talk, I talk, listen and listen. No, it's more than that. It's about imparting knowledge. It's about conveying your message clearly, your idea clearly, so that people can understand and listen to you. And by having effective communication, it helps us to establish an emotional connection with people around us, and it actually helps them to open up to us. So that's why it's all about listening and empathizing. And by doing these two, people understand you and you can understand them better. And we can come to a consensus to work up a plan. So regardless of working in healthcare system or in financial corporate or in any other field, just remember to listen and empathize. It's very, very important to make each other understand us better. And by doing so, we can understand people better and unlock people's heart with the best key we have, which is communication. And I believe I have spoken now. I'm not sure whether I have reached the 80-minute mark. That's all I want to speak to you. I hope that my sharing this evening will benefit all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sibao, for that heartwarming speech. Yeah, when talking about patients, I remember there was a time I went to a hospital and I just see the patients, but I did not communicate with them. So I kind of feel bad just seeing them. I wish I can communicate with the patients as well. All right, so thank you for all three of our speakers today for giving your best in your speeches. Now, I would like to launch the poll and you guys will vote who is the best speaker for today. All right, thank you everyone for your votes. Now, we would like to move on to the evaluation session. And I would like to pass the floor to our general evaluator, Patricia.
Before this,
oh, yeah.
I've forgotten something. May I invite all of us? Is Eugene still here? I was about
I'm here.
Yeah, may I invite everyone to give a standing ovation to Eugene for completing her icebreaker. Unmute yourself. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Hard to stand.
It's okay. Virtual standing ovation.
Thank you.
Second one.
Yeah, I want to break the ice.
Yeah, well done, well
Okay.
done.
Okay, thank you. Back to you. Back to Patricia.
Back to me. All right. Okay, with this, we shall now all unmute ourselves and give the loudest round of applause to Joshua first for being our Toastmaster of the evening. Yes. Can we all unmute? I want to hear some noise. I'm not hearing enough noises.
Make some noise, make some noise.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And everybody say thank you, Joshua. Loud and clear.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Joshua. This is embarrassing.
Thank you.
But thank you.
Good. Yeah, because it's never easy to become Toastmaster of the evening. And Joshua, you handled it really, really well. You know, you did a lot of homework and you knew what's going to happen, and then you did it well. So I want to congratulate you. How many times already? I bet you're not a first timer, right?
I'm a first timer.
First timer? Okay, extra for you. All right. Now I'm really pleased and happy. First of all, I want to thank Itifa for having me here. And like all of you know my background, my everything already. So I'm going to go straight to the point. For the next evaluation session, it's going to take about 40 minutes or so, 30 to 40 minutes. And I am very pleased and very honored to play a part in this. And I would like to have everyone to have your undivided attention for the next 30 or 40 minutes. That's going to be a commitment. Are you okay with that? If you would like to commit yourself to support all your teammates, support all your Toastmasters teammates, to encourage them. If you want to support them by giving them that undivided attention, even though you're not speaking, you can be, video off, but you still want to support them. If you are the one, please put your name in the chat box. I am waiting. I know Universal Malaya is a very, very warm club. And I am definitely I'm so happy everyone is supporting all of you. So to kickstart, of course, is my wonderful baby brother. But before I introduce him, just let me reassure everyone, evaluation is always from our own personal perspectives. By the way, I am looking at 19 participants minus Patricia Zete, got 2 devices. The 17 participants, who is a first timer here in Toastmasters Club? If you are, or your friend, can you identify the person? All right, first timer. Okay, now evaluation is all from our own personal perspectives. If it doesn't make sense, it's okay to let it go. But by all means, okay, we are all here wanting to move you to the next level in your Toastmasters journey. So we are all very kind, very, very nice. And yet we want to see you moving forward. That's why a lot of us will be giving you some tips on how to move yourself to the next level. Before we kickstart, let's give a loudest round of applause to our teacher, Carmen, all the way from.
Wait. Sorry about that, GE. Could we have Neshan first? He is having an emergency later.
Neshan, go ahead and cut queue. Okay, you are allowed. Special permission granted. Neshan, go ahead.
He is having stomachache. So,
I can't see you though.
Neshan, are you okay? Okay, I think he's having intense stomachache.
Okay, never mind. So it's still back to Carmen now. I know Carmen is ever ready to jump whenever he is able.
Jumping. Okay. So thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Patricia, our general evaluator for today. Now, as you can see, my dress code for today is a teacher who dressed like that, except for the teacher, shouldn't be that way. So today I'll be evaluating all our 3 speakers from an educator's perspective. So what I'm going to evaluate is what I observed to you guys as a teacher. If I'm the teacher in this situation, what I would do. Okay. First up is distinguished Toastmaster Neshan from Monash University Toastmasters Club. The topic is on basic philosophy. Why is Juan the horse on the balcony, and what can we learn from him? One word I would like to describe Neshan in his speech is critical thinker, a phrase that I would like to use to describe this person, because immediately he can start off his speech by sharing with us about his thoughts about philosophy and what can he learn from these 2 pictures, which is to have acceptance towards yourself and to protect yourself from the onlookers. So these are the 2 things I've demonstrated from him about his speech. Now, what I like about his topic is he can critically dissect the topic and actually share with us a lot of information regarding philosophy. And he actually mentioned 2 main points that I mentioned, which are the key learnings that he take away from the speech. So good job on that. Now, what I would like to elevate his delivery even better is to look into vocal variety. Now, as an evaluator, I find that sometimes speaking, you need to be a little slow to actually allow the audience to take in your message. So Neshan, my suggestion to you is to actually slow down, take your time, pronounce word by word clearly so that people can understand your message. Overall, you're a critical thinker who actually shares about your opinions for philosophy. So good job on that. Next one is our Sean talking about the two Doge memes, the dogs. And for me, from what I've learned from Sean is he is a very knowledgeable person. He immediately linked his topic into two things, which is on examinations regarding school and also in terms of World War II. Don't be too complacent into things. So his reaction to the scenario, which I really like, is he actually talks about social issues regarding what is happening right now and link it back to the topic. So tips for you guys, for students, if you don't know what the lecturer is talking about, just relate to current social issues. Talk about what you know about certain issues. Like for Sean today, he talks about generation gap, which is a very suitable topic about, I forgot the course, but it's a very suitable topic. Now, to elevate his speech, I would suggest is in terms of his gestures. Now, when you move around with your hands or your feet, it must be purposeful. There's a reason why a speaker do this. There's a reason why a speaker do this. So this is what I mean by purposeful movement. So what I can think an improvement for Sean is to move with purpose. Use your hands gestures as a point you want to say something. From examinations, or you want to determine someone, just say you or something like that. Try to move with purpose. Overall, Sean, that's a very good evaluation. Very good, very intelligent student, I would say, as an educator. And always share about things that you know. If you really don't know anything, just share about things that you know. Finally, is Carl. I would say that Carl is an expert in dragging time. So what he said, he actually, if you notice, the first thing that he did was he thanked the professor first, and then he rephrased the question. So this is a very good tactic for you to delay time whenever you enter a table topic or you are being asked a question that you don't understand. So just say something like, thank you so much for your question. I would say that your question is blah, 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 something like that. So rephrase the question actually gives you time to think. Now, he also used a tactic called speak around the topic. So basically he did not, this is usually what politicians would do. What politicians would do is they won't directly answer the question, but they'll speak around the topic. So you felt that he answered it, but actually he doesn't. So that's a very good tactic to use, especially if you want to be a politician or lawyer in the future. Now, one thing that I really, but for me as an educator, right, because I know what I'm talking about, so if you are given a question like that, it is not appropriate to actually share about things, go around the topic that way. It only works if the listener is someone who is not so educated. If the listener is someone who is educated or professional, try not to speak around the topic. Rather, just apologize, say that, I'm so sorry, I missed out about your lesson, and can you share with us a little bit more about what your topic is about? So rephrase it that way, so that for me as an educator, I would understand that sometimes you're tired, you're lazy, you just want to rest. But sometimes if you speak around the topic which you're not familiar with, then do not speak around the topic, but rather apologize and then just share with us what you know about the topic rather than go around against it. So nonetheless, Carl has very strong delivery skills. You can hear that his pacing is quite smooth, and the way he uses his tone and his voice actually adds a comedy effect into the speech, so which I really like. So overall, all three speakers, Nishan, Sean, and Carl, did a very wonderful job in terms of a very difficult table topic. So I applaud you for your courage, and thank you so much for letting me evaluating you as a speaker. So good job on the three of you. With that, back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Wow, fantastic evaluation from our past area director also. All right, fantastic, fantastic. Now, I love Carmen's evaluation because it was very clear. The structure was really clear. He had a very clear opening, body, and conclusion. I actually learned few things from Carmen also, all right? He was very systematic in analyzing each of the speakers. Actually, the speakers are very, very advanced in the sense that I really see them as mature speakers, even though they're really young. But they beat a lot of adults out there. So I'm really, really happy to hear Carmen's evaluation. He can really uplift them to the next level. So because of this, Carmen, I want to give you a gift. Would you like that?
Sure, no problem.
Yes. Wow, so fast you change already. Okay. Now, Carmen, I love the fact that you really dress yourself well to evaluate them as if you are entering a contest. Really great. The only thing feedback I want to enlighten you is whether you are able to use, instead of just now you were using portrait mode, you see, so I can see less of you. If you want to stand and show your half body, right, I would actually encourage you still to use the lens slide? Is it called lens slide?
Landscape.
Landscape mode. So Carmen, you may want to experiment that in the future. Okay. Another gift I want to give you. Now, sometimes when your evaluation, right, you really is talking face to face, like me and Carmen, I'm talking to you right now. So I'll address you, Carmen, this is what I suggest you to do. And I noticed during your evaluation, because I was paying really close close to your evaluation, I want to give you some really good gift. So I noticed sometimes you talk as if I'm talking to you right now, and then sometimes you suddenly switch out to say, he could have evaluated himself when he is a little far back when we could see his lens slide. Do you see the contradiction, Carmen? Do you get it? So what I'm saying is when you evaluate the evaluator, right, I want you to use the first person one like I'm talking to you right now. No need to refer she again, because that it becomes a different type of evaluation. So this is what I would recommend whenever we are evaluating somebody. Evaluate as if you're talking to the person right in front of you. Don't use the third person, he or she. That's my understanding. Is that okay with you, Carmen?
Sure, it's actually a challenge to use I statement, but thank you for reminding.
Yeah, try that out. Okay, it's more effective, and the speaker can really feel you are communicating with them. And Carl is not here, so Nisham and yeah, all right. Okay, with this, I would like to invite Nisham on board to give our evaluation to Yu Chin. Nishan, I know you are ready to rock, right? Good. Let's give Nishan a round of applause.
Before I begin, I need to say that I'm actually very, very sick. So I'm on many medications as I speak. So I may speak very quickly. So for the speaker, your speech, great potential. As a speaker, I love the title of your speech, Pong. When I thought of Pong, I immediately thought of the thematic Pong. This suits your personality very, very well as a speaker, because you are a very bubbly person by nature. So when you have a speech title like this, Pong, there's an immediate resonance with who you are. So people connect with you through your topic even faster. Now, what I would recommend from you above and beyond that is the fact that you could use Pong as a thematic kind of transition for many things. For example, your first point, right? You could pass one ball to the next hand. So this could be a prop you can use, or you could just drop the ball. By using Pong as a means of transition for different points in your speech, you can make it more dynamic. On top of that, you could even use like this. You see, I can just put Pong as a word and show it to the audience. So there's many ways you can actually bring your topic out to the forefront. The next recommendation I have is your hair. Now, you and your personality suits you very, very well. Your hair is flowy, your speech is flowy, the way you speak is very consistent. Now, you want to create a jarring difference when you speak. The jarring difference that you can create is something that's an antithesis to your kind of personality. So since you're very flowy, take a minute to just pause. Then move to your next one and punch. You look like a flowy person, you are a flowy person. So the dynamic difference, the dynamic range for when you pause and punch will be much stronger for you as opposed to anyone else in the audience. The next one is, I loved how you ended your speech with relevance. You led into the audience about coming back in Toastmasters and wanting to be with us. A lot of speakers, they go off tangent. They just talk about themselves. They go on into some kind of abstract story that just goes on into the distance. But you brought yourself back to the present with us, making us feel like you belong with us and we want to get to know you more above and beyond the speech. So this is how you get yourself after the meeting to get people to talk to you so they want to know you more. So it's a very, very smart way of going about things. The final 2 points that I have to share to you is, okay, what's the timer? I can't even. Okay. You left, yeah. You in the beginning of a speech, you were muted. So what you can do is when you are stumbling, Do a quick recovery. For example, you couldn't hear me because you left me speechless. Do something funny. You don't have to apologize for your mistake. You can use it to your advantage as a kind of prop or something you could use as an introduction. You could say you slipped the ball, which is a pun on the very same thing you started talking about. Next one. Speech needs a lot of, you talk a lot, it's just good, but you're narrating. Perhaps be part of the story, become the story and say, I was in this room or this accommodation. So you have to show the story happening vividly to you as if you're in the environment. The entire metaphysical reality around you is for you to play with as an extension of your speech and your being. So if you use that better, then we will feel absorbed into what you're saying. So you're not telling us a story like in English school, but it's more of we are part of your story. You can even make us actors. So imagine you are my housemate. Yeah. So by using these throwing words and bringing us in, we will feel part of your story. The last point is your transitions. Perhaps work on using transitioning slower, purposefully, with intent, by knowing exactly what's the theme or the focus of each point. When you do that, what happens is your audience understands that you're closing each point, and they understand that there is a lot of value brought by each statement. Because when you're narrating, it can just appear like a ramble as it goes on. But the only reason I'm focusing so much on these technical skills is because you already are good. So when a person is already a 5-star speaker or 10-star speaker, naturally they can talk. Amplifying that and saying, you do really, really well because you can share the stories is not going to be of value to you. So I hope what I'm sharing to you today is something that shows you both my respect for you and my pride in your accomplishment. And it pushes you from already a good speaker to an amazing speaker. So Yu Chin, I hope that now the pong is in your court and it will grow from just a small ball to perhaps a basketball, and have fun. I'll see you all in your next meeting. I'm off to the hospital. Goodbye.
Thank you. Now, thank you so much, Nishan. We shall send him all the love, from all of us. I'm sure he can see that. Send all the love for his lovely evaluation and his dedication and his commitment as fantastic speech evaluator. And I'm thoroughly inspired by Nishan. Get well soon, Nishan. We all love you. And I'm sure you can see all the love here. Wishing you speedy recovery. All right, with this, it's my honor to invite our second speech evaluator, of course. It's my great brother from TC Segambut, Justin. Take it away.
Thank you, General Evaluator Patricia. Okay, so Jeff, thank you, Jeff, for attempting your project and to lead the team to reach a general consensus on what you wanted to go about. Also, thank your audience or the volunteers or VIPs to help with your project. If not, there won't be any conflicts. So now, just to put into perspective, I'd like to do my evaluation by focusing on your facilitation skills and the manage conflict portion, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on. When it comes to facilitation, I like how you actually formatted your answers to each of the VIPs. I'll say VIPs, okay? How, like, for example, you started by acknowledging their opinions, who they are, explaining the roles as of them as the contributors, and after that, you kind of like put in like how they could actually help in your initiative and make it a better one. What I did notice was that the VIPs tend to take over your meetings at certain points of time, and it kind of seemed like it ran out of control for a bit. What I thought you could have done was to create a facilitation rule. For example, maybe before they can come up and put their peace of mind, maybe ask them to raise their hand using the Zoom emoticon, right? As how we usually run the AGMs and conferences, right? So because this is actually a press conference of some sort towards your stakeholders, so it would be more in an orderly fashion where they can come up and speak their mind without you losing the order. So that's one point that I would like to share with you. Apart from that, I think you did really well by giving them actually time and to say their piece, and then you made sure that each person received a fair amount of reassurance from your side. So that was really good, and you also closed it off with a general consensus and to, how did I say, close it off with a conclusion, even though it may or may not reach a general consensus. In terms of conflict, I thought you did really good, really well by answering the VIPs with confidence and also providing logical suggestions. I noticed that you actually did take about 2 to 3 minutes to assure them and bring them to your level. What I did notice, though, that when there was some parts where you kind of lose control, and then you said, no, 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 that I think kind of happened like 2 or 3 times. So that kind of what I would suggest that you probably might want to do, instead of saying no, 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 maybe you look for a more positive manner of saying it, like, oh, that's a good one, or maybe, yeah, I agree with you. And then after that, followed by agreeing to disagree in that sense. So therefore, you kind of like flow them towards your way instead of just stopping them with a brick wall. Sorry. And yeah, so what I thought that you probably could have done was to first thank them for their opinion, agree with what their opinions are that could benefit the project, and then come with why you chose your suggestion in the last phase. For example, instead of hanging out, why you chose Zoom instead of Hangout. Maybe it's just an option whereby later on Hangout could actually merge into the ecosystem and make it even bigger, for example. So the idea is to create a mindset where they are actually allies rather than enemies. And I think that would actually make it easier for them to say, okay, I can agree with that. I can be part of the project, and therefore you can reach a consensus a bit earlier on. So apart from that, thank you so much for doing this project. It's really interesting. I like how it worked, and ready for next week. Back to you.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Justin, what I love about Justin, I noticed immediately Jeff actually connected with you. So that is really a hallmark of a great evaluator, and you managed to somehow attract Jeff to immediately interact with you. Well done, well done. Now, Jeff, another strong point that you have is really how you position yourself. You use very, very great choice of words, and you were able to pick up words from Jeff. Maybe Jeff, you intentionally want to, sort of let loose a little bit so Justin has more to say about you, but well done. I love to, to observe how you evaluated Jeff. And because of this, Justin, I'm going to give you a gift. Yes, Justin, just play around more with the eye contact, with that will definitely make you a champion evaluator in the future. All right. With this, we shall now invite our final speech evaluator, Ilya. Ilya, take it away.
Thank you, GE. I'm Patricia. Right, Toastmaster Sibao. Hang on. Okay. Toastmaster Sibao, congratulations. That was a very long speech you've done, and I think you've done it really, really well. What I enjoyed from your speech is the first thing I noticed after completing the whole thing is that how structured it was. You had a good opening, you had a good meat of the story, and you gave us take-home messages. So I just wanted to put that out first. Congratulations on giving us imparting such valuable knowledge on that. First thing I like about how it started was that you light up the room, or at least the virtual room, with a joke. it was a corny, cheesy joke, but it was a joke nonetheless. And it brought a smile to everyone in the screen. I'm sure those whose screen is currently off also give you a small grin. And that's enough to know that's enough for me to know that it's going to be a good one. Now, when you first shared the screen, your title, communication. First thinking was that, what is communication? Everyone knows what communication is. It's not one-way communication. As far as I know, it's a two-way communication. You talk to him and then him talk to you back. But you gave us this something that we tend to overlook, which is the other person's point of view. And I hope everyone could take that as well along with you at the end of this speech. Now, the other thing is I'm not a medical man. That's why I'm not a doctor. I'm from corporate. I don't understand anything how medicine works. So I really enjoy how you explain the medical terms about where diabetes type 1 and type 2. I never knew what the difference is, but then you told me that diabetes type 1 is for kids, type 2 is for adult, and how epilepsy works. I'm sure there's much more than that, but thank you for doing that. Now, going towards the main meat of the story, the stories, I find that if you could just share a bit more of the dialogues you have between the doctors and the patients, because let's say from the story number one was the discussion between the doctor and the 10-year-old girl. You don't have to give us word to word of what the conversation was. You can even embellish it. We're not in the room, so you can just tell us whatever you want. And if you could create a scene where it's like a doctor and a 10-year-old girl, you say, "Doctor, child, why have you not taken your medicine?" "Doctor, I don't like it. It makes me look ugly." See, it creates a bit more drama and it gives you a little bit more flavor behind it. And I just have a little bit tiny thing about your control of these slides. It's too wordy. It's you were reading it from word to word, which is okay, I guess, but I'm from corporate. I don't really like reading too much words. As much as possible, minimum words, but more impact. And there was too much space between the words and whatever extra spaces here. There are some, if you could look back to it, if you are planning on going further with slides, there are ways that you can actually put in your picture into PowerPoints. So if you could spend some time on that, it'll probably be a bit more helpful in your future endeavor using PowerPoints. All in all, I've really enjoyed your speech. I've learned so much. Communication, two-way communication is impactful. And the last meaning messages that I've learned from this is taking another person's point of view. And with that, thank you, Sibao. I'll pass it back to the GE, Tian Patricia. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah. Hey, it's my first time listening to you and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What I really like about you, definitely interaction between you and Sibao. That's like, you know, like I'm not going to mention anymore, but the fact that you actually stood up and you did your extra as a speech evaluator, that is worth all of us to give you another round of applause. And also another great thing you have done is you really positioned yourself as an experienced professional speaker. So this is really, really important because Sibao is right now giving a professional speech, right? So the person evaluating him, you gain credibility by telling the audience where you're from. All right, so that adds your credibility. And of course, one of the beautiful things you have done is you use the prep method. You position yourself, you gave the reason, and you also gave us the example, dialogue. Dialogues are so powerful, I tell you, it really brings that entire presentation alive, given the fact that the presentation is like 18 to 22 minutes. So you have done justice on that, Ilya. I love you, I love your evaluation. Because of this, I'm going to give you another tip, all right, so that you can further elevate yourself. Is that okay? Now, Ilya, if possible, yes, right. Are you using your laptop? Can you position it slightly higher? Because right now I feel you are not at eye level.
Yeah,
yes.
it's actually on top of my monitor.
Yes, never mind. In the future, you may want to do that, and also you be slightly at the back, and then you can play around with the screen like what you've done. Other than that, you definitely fantastic. And are you contest winner? I think you are.
I was a contest winner for club level. I lost an
Okay, never mind. Go back and compete, because definitely I can see you, you know, even the division contestant, I mean, you know, representative division. Who knows, right? So with this, thank you so much, Ilya.
Thank you.
Great, fantastic. Now with this, is my greatest honor and pleasure to invite now our grammarian in the house to let us. Fanatical, yes, fanatical word of the day. We are really fanatical right now. We overrun already 9:37. Back to you, grammarian Kim Tang.
So thank you, our general evaluator, Patricia. So for today's grammarian report, I think that there is kind of less grammatical mistake that I can detect it. But to be honest, today, actually our word of the day are being used quite a lot of time. For example, our general evaluator, Patricia, you use it 4 times, fanatical. It was really fanatical, in fact. So, and for our Toastmaster of evening, Joshua, you use the word fanatical 1 time. And also to Jeff, you use it 1 time, our speaker number 2, sorry. And also to Sibao, you use it 1 time, our word fanatical. And also for the grammatical mistake that I can detect it during today's meeting is I am explained. It actually should be I am explaining. This is a grammar mistake. And also bad internet connection. In fact, it should be bad internet connection. Bad it's not a word. Maybe it's a translated word. So moving on to the excellent word phrases and sentences that are used during this meeting. Number 1, a generational gap. And number 2, we tend to be complacent and we move towards convenience. And lastly is health literacy. And also, and I think that's all for the grammarian report. And back to you, our general evaluator.
Wow, that was fantastic. Kinting, I'm so happy to hear from you. What I like about you, you are really a great English teacher. You have very clear pronunciation, enunciation, which I totally like. And you were really eloquent as well. May I know, have you ever lived overseas in your life?
No.
Oh, the
No.
one in Malaysia. Well done.
Yeah.
All right. Now, because of this item, I'm going to give you a tip on how you can up-level your game, and I know you're ready. Now, Kim Tang, I know you're okay with the virtual background, so perhaps in the future, just put the big word fanatical as your virtual background. All right. With this, fantastic. I feel like inviting you to my club already next time. Okay. Okay, good. Now we shall invite our art counter, the one and only rule in the entire universe. Elaine, take it away.
Okay. Hi, thanks, Patricia. So I'll be giving my report for the art counter. The first one is Benjamin. I caught 1 R, 1 and 1 Sean, I only caught 1 Carl, I caught 3 but I believe it was on purpose because you're trying to answer teacher Benjamin. Then continuing is Eugene, 1 and 2 N. Jeff, I caught 5 R, 5 and 2 Sibao, I caught 1 and 2 N. Kaman, I caught 2 1 Neshan, I only caught 1 Good job. Justin, I caught 1 1 Ilya, 1 1 and 1 N. Patricia, I also caught only 1 That's all from me. Back to you, Patricia.
Wow, thank you so much, Elaine. Is this your first time?
No.
Okay, well done. Now, I'm really happy because definitely being an art counter is my one of the scariest technician role that Oh, you off? Okay, please don't offer because I want to see you and talk to you more. Now, I love the fact that you're very dedicated to your job, all right? And I'm going to give you a gift as well, Elaine. Is that okay? It's my first time seeing you, right?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Yes. If possible, I would like to challenge you to use the spreadsheet to put everybody's name there and just plug in the numbers, the R's and M's and all that, and show that as your share screen if possible. So that what is the benefit of doing the spreadsheet? It makes your job easier, and apart from that, we can actually some of us, really want to improve ourselves. So that actually allows us to capture our progress as a speaker. But other than that, you know, Elaine, I love the dedication that you have to really listen carefully, because you managed to pick up one from me, which is bravo, man. Well done. All right,
it
keep
took
it
me a
up,
long
Elaine.
time to catch it. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well done, well done. I hope to see you again, Elaine. All right, with this, all the best. Bye. Okay, and it's my greatest honor also to invite our first timer. I'm really happy to know that Rashmi is actually the first timer. So I'm really, really excited to hear from you, Rashmi. Take it away, our Miss Timer.
Thank you, Patricia. This is my report. Our meeting started at 7:31. We took 10-minute break. First, assistant essay Kenneth took 32 seconds. The president opening address Kendon took 1 minute 54 seconds. Toastmaster of the evening Joshua spent 2 minutes 38 seconds. Then next table topic session, 3 of them this more than 2 minutes. First person Nation took 2 minutes 27 seconds. Sean took 2 minutes 23 seconds. Kale took 2 minutes 19 seconds. Next is prepared speeches. First speaker Yunjin took 5 minutes 17 seconds. Second speaker Jeff took, that's a two part of his speech was 2 part. First part he took 21 minutes 41 seconds. Second part 1.41 seconds. Third speaker Shiva took 17 minutes 20 seconds. Next is prepared speech evaluation. First evaluator Nishan took 4 minutes. Second evaluator Justin took 4 minutes 30 seconds. Third evaluator Ilya took 3 minutes 40 seconds. Table topic evaluator took 5 minutes 30 seconds. Grammarian Kendron took 1 minute 12 seconds. Counter Ilya took 59 seconds. Smile timing 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Rashmi, I'm so proud of you, Rashmi. Because I can't believe you are doing this for the very first time. And I definitely want to applaud you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all send Rashmi love or emoticon or any of the emoticon? We want to recognize your dedication as a first timer. Thank you, thank you. I'm super proud of you because you remember the time yourself. Yes, that is a hallmark of a great timer, and I love your dedication. So like Elaine and Rashmi, I want to encourage you to continue to role play in your club whenever there is a chance. Would that be okay with you, Rashmi?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, great. Would you like to have the challenge of going to other clubs as well, perhaps in the future? When you are ready, when you are available? Yes, that is a great really great to step out of comfort zone. I know you are ready. Fantastic. Okay, now here comes my evaluation GE report before I signed off as your GE. And I have changed my background to theme. I understand today is about school, right? So I shall position myself as a first timer. First timer as a headmistress. I feel very pressured, but at the same time, I'm pleasured as well to come in as your general evaluator. And if possible, I would like all of you to turn on your video because I like to see all of you. If you are able to, yes, please turn on your video for the next few minutes. I'll make it short and sweet because I feel it's so important to look at all of you face to face if possible. I'm actually going to look across the stream. All right. Now, today, my report is actually going to recognize each and every one of you for making a great effort to make this meeting as fruitful as possible. And I know all of you have done your best, all right? Right now, I'm still seeing 18, only Nishan went off. This is definitely a great meeting. None of you dropped off. I mean, except Nishan, he can't be helped because I was sick. But the thing is this, even though he wasn't a student from University Malaya, he was an out, he was from Monash. He came, he did his duty, and most importantly, he stayed on, you see. So this actually is, I would say, is the energy of okay? University Malaya, you make this happen. Because some of the outside Toastmasters, they could have left, or, they could have give a very, very good excuse that, hey, I'm sick, I'm not able to make it. So the fact that Nishan strived the entire, no matter how physically he was uncomfortable, he still came in, he still committed. I want to make all of you aware that this is where, this is where University Malaya is. Do you get what I mean? I came in quite last minute as well. So I want to recognize the fact that you guys have your own charm. You have already established your club as a very, very distinguished club. You have reached president distinguished. I've checked. Okay, I've checked on your dashboard. You are always there. So you guys are one of the best clubs in Division W, right, Jeff? Of course, right? So that happened. Of course, it's not because of Jeff, not because of Sibao, not because of Sean, not because of Ben, not because of Kintang, Min Kang, Rashmi, Elaine, Joshua. No, it's a collective effort. That's why I picked up the word team. Each and every one of you, Eugene, you are so young. You are already doing your second pair. I want to applaud you. A lot of the Toastmasters out there, 10 years Toastmasters, they can't even finish one pair. I'm not here to criticize, but I'm here to applaud your determination, your commitment, your enthusiasm as a young Toastmaster. So never feel like, oh, because I'm so junior, then I am less by some of the Toastmasters who can be very much senior than you. No, what I'm saying is everyone is equal. This is what I champion in Toastmasters. If you know the core values of Toastmasters, who know all the core values, please type in the chat box, please. Okay, one of the very, very important core value definitely is respect. That starts with an R. So that's how we respect ourselves and at the same time respect everyone. All right. Now, because of this, then University Malaya can grow. Okay. Another very important thing I want to let you guys know, you have an amazing agenda, even though I wasn't able to catch up on the notes to the evaluator. So perhaps just a point that you may want to consider is, I know you have spent time doing the slides. So probably in the future, you may even want to put your notes to the evaluator and your purpose statement on the slide itself. So that just removes all the, it just makes the flow more flowy since you're going to do your slides. But I'm not sure if you're using the slides every time you're doing a TME. It doesn't matter. Is your club is really a TME who's going to make the call. All right. So having said that, you have a wonderful agenda because it was clear. And I love the use of colors. All right. Use of colors are so important. That goes to anybody who is doing virtual aids. Always use colors. Okay. This is to enhance our entire virtual experience because I foresee we will still be doing Zoom meeting. All right. At least because the cases are going out, so we can't really run away. So why not make the best experience out of the Zoom meeting? Are we all championing for being a great Zoom presenter? If you'd like to, please put your name in the chat box. Or send me applause, send me love, send me thumbs up. Yes. All right. Another great thing that I want to applaud definitely is your speeches. All jam-packed with content. Very, very strong content. Solid content. That's why your evaluation is solid as well. I know the club has a lot of champions. So I encourage all of you continue to be as big as you can. All right. In Division W, eventually the district, even though I'm from a different division, but that doesn't matter. I believe who is, everybody wins. All right. Now, the next thing I really want to touch before my time is up, my time is actually almost up, but I want to encourage all of you to continue to step up your game. All right. Now, what I'm saying is, I'm seeing some of you are quite active now in the district level. Okay. I want to continue to encourage all of you to really step out of University Malaya and go and spread the genes around. Okay. If there's one viral disease that we hope to spread it around so that people get more excited about Toastmasters, at the same time they get more value, bring a friend. Bring a friend who is a non-Toastmaster. We see somebody who's non-Toastmaster here today. And yes, Kasim, are you still there? I can't see you. Okay, no matter what it is. Oh yes, Kasim, you're still here, yes. Bring your friends to Toastmasters, because the investment in Toastmasters, you do a calculation, right? Is 400 ringgit divided by how many meetings you have? It's about 100 meetings in a year, right? What is 400 ringgit divided by 100 meeting? How much does that come to? Quickly type in the chat box or unmute yourself in chat. 4 ringgit, okay? 4 ringgit per meeting. This is the value you're getting. Is this cost effective if you want to learn to be a better communicator, better leader? You can't find any program like Toastmasters. Because of this, I champion Toastmasters, and I want to encourage and challenge you guys. Bring a friend next time. Continue to expand to make it viral, all right? If there's one tagline I want to change, make Toastmasters viral. That's my message. And how is this possible? Because you have a champion team, University Malaya. Before I close, I just want everyone to unmute yourself and say, University Malaya is the champion.
University Malaya is the champion.
I want to hear.
University Malaya is the champion.
Yes,
champion.
I want to hear you.
Hashtag.
Okay, now I want to hear you. Okay, I want to hear you. Why? This is a declaration you make to the universe. If you have the heart to do it, it will happen. Believe this. Unmute yourself and say, I am the champion. 3, 2, 1.
I am a champion.
The champion. Oh, the Queen song. My goodness.
Do this every morning. I know it's fanatical. I can be very fanatical about Toastmasters, but see where the magic is. That's why I champion Toastmasters. None other program in the universe is so reasonable and affordable. 4 ringgit per meeting. You see yourself shooting up the star. All right, with this, I shall hand the control back to President or our Joshua.
Toastmaster evening.
Joshua, take it away.
Thank you, Patricia, for that inspirational feedback. I really admire the way how you motivate us to be better speaker ourselves and improve the next time when we have a meeting. And also I want to thank the other evaluators as well for giving us good feedbacks and helping us to improve for our next speeches as well. Not just the speakers, but also our fellow Toastmasters. And perhaps if the guests are interested to join Toastmasters, please do and register and find out more from us. All right, so now it is the moment that we're waiting, the presentations of awards. And before we go there, this meeting's theme was Safe School to All, and school reminds me of when I was a child. And the one show that I'm most fanatical with was SpongeBob SquarePants. So, are you ready, kids?
I am ready.
I can't hear you.
Aye, Captain.
I am captain. I forgot already.
Oh.
What is it? A pineapple
Who
under the
is the
sea?
best speaker for table topics?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, so drum roll, please, everyone. And the best table topic speaker goes to Neshan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice photo.
Yeah, I think we will tell him that he got the best table topics. And hopefully he will recover from his illness as well.
He will.
Moving on. Who is the best prepared speech speaker? Drum roll, please. And the best prepared speech speaker goes to Yuqin. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Eugene.
Thanks.
All right, moving on to Best Evaluator Award. Drum roll, please. And the best evaluator goes to Ilya and Nishan. Congrats.
Nice screenshot. Nice screenshot.
Congrats.
Thank you, everyone.
And that is all for our presentation of awards. Now, I would like to pass to Ming Kang for his quiz session. Ming Kang, over to you.
So everyone, please give me 2 minutes to unmute yourself. All unmute yourself, please. I will ask a few questions and just shout out the answer that you know. So first of all, who introduced the history of Toastmaster?
Joshua.
Yes, Joshua. What an easy question. Who say we should be grateful on things we take for granted during table topics?
Ben?
No, Sean. It's Sean. Who say Godzilla is a lizard and use thermodynamics and aerodynamics to flow water? Yes, it's Cal. Who joined Toastmasters to improve his marketing?
Siva.
Nishan.
No, it's Nation.
Oh.
Yeah. Who was complaining about her hostel being no microwave, no water heater?
Me.
Yes. Who is the CEO of Hang Out?
Jeff.
Come on, yeah. Who was using a lame pickup line to impress his crush?
Siva.
Who learned a philosophical knowledge by watching a horse on a balcony?
Nation.
Yes.
Nation.
Who suggested to use emoticon and raise hand functions in a discussion?
Justin.
Yeah, Justin, Carmen, you are perfect students. And next marks the end of my Who Say What sessions. Hope you guys like it. Back to the president.
So thank you, our quiz master Ming Kang. It is so for the inclusion of the quiz, I can actually feel that it makes our meeting completely different, and it actually makes all of us very engaging and actually have fun at the end of the meeting. So well done on that, Ming Kang. Great idea and great inspiration. So for my closing address, first of all, I want to thank the external role players today that our club has invited, which is our distinguished Toastmaster Patricia being our general evaluator for tonight, and also Nishan, distinguished Toastmaster all the way from Monash Toastmaster Club, and as well as Justin from Segambut Toastmaster Club, Ilya from KATMC, and of course today we also have some guests with us, which is Kasim. So I really want to thank you all for joining and also spend this amazing time with us today together in this meeting. And I want to have a special thanks to our general evaluator for tonight, which is Patricia Yap. She was giving a lot of fantastic feedback, and she was also very generous to share with us the tips. Every speaker's evaluator or role player, you all have tips to be improved, and you have something to be taken away from tonight. You have something. Okay, and also from all the feedbacks that we have received as a Toastmaster member, this actually makes this meeting that we, as a place, that we can learn something from it. And also tonight we have a fruitful moment. And in fact, we have already served the purpose of hosting this meeting tonight, which is we can, after the end of meeting, we can be a better person. And when we apply the feedbacks, we implement it, we can have something, we can become something better, and our skills can be improved. And also, so that's all for the closing speech. And now I have some announcement to make. So for 2 weeks afterwards, which is the 17th of May, our club, University Malaya Toastmaster Club, will have a joint meeting together with MIA Toastmaster Club. and all the role player details will later be sent out in the group. So if you are interested to take part of it, you can actually fill in as speaker or role players according to the slot being allotted. And now, without further ado, I will give the floor to our external role player to announce whether you have your club have meetings or programs going on. So Patricia, I think you can share with us, also Ilya as well as Nishan.
Yes, first off, I'm so grateful to thank you, incoming president. Well done on your presidential closing address. Very, very well done. And I would also like to extend my warmest invitation to all of you to coming Thursday. There is a joint meeting between Royal Premier and Navem. I know a lot of you have not even heard of the name probably, but I'm going to send the invitation to President Kinteng and also Itifar and Jeff and some of you whom I know, and definitely President Ben as well. All right, so I'll keep you guys posted. If you can just hop in, hop out, there's no pressure. Just come and have a feel of it. All right, I'm going to do a speech. All right. Okay, having said that, I'm so grateful to be here, and back to you.
So Ilya, do you have anything to announce from your club?
Yep, thank you, Kentan. Thank you first off to Min Kang. He invited me to your meeting. Thank you for extending the invite, and it's a nice young youthful vibe I had from start to finish. Thank you. I'd like to invite everyone to my own club meeting, Kota Anggrek Toastmaster Club. Our meeting is on a Saturday at 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. So if anyone is available, we are looking for evaluators and role players. Or even if you're free, you can still just come over and attend. We're on Saturday, 3 p.m. Thank you. And details, I'll pass it to Min Kang, and he can probably send it off to everyone else to share. Thank you.
So thank you, Ilya, for the invitation to your club meeting. And I think that Nishan is not with us since he was going to the hospital. And now I would like to invite Kaman to share with us for his some clubbing opportunities.
Justin first.
Oh, yeah, Justin. Sorry. Yeah, Justin, do you have anything to share with us about the clubbing things?
Oh, okay. Hi, guys. This Wednesday, the 5th of May, 6:45 to 9:30, TC Segambut will be having their meeting. It's going to be themed the stories we make up. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I don't know what's going to happen yet, but we'll find out. So like to would like to invite anyone to come along and join the fun. Back to you.
Thank you, Justin, for the invitation. And now I'd like to pass the floor to Kaman.
So same thing, I'm a member for another club as well, which is called Bukit Gelugo Toastmasters Club up north in Penang. So next week is our next meeting on the 10th of May. So I really request help from you guys as evaluators, as speakers, as technical role players. You can drop by. It's on Monday. So UM's meeting is on 1st and 3rd. Bukit Gelugo's meeting is on 2nd and 4th of Monday. So if you're unavailable and you want to take up a role, do let me know, or I'll send the details in our posters group later. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Kaman. With that marks the end of this meeting, and I call this meeting adjourned.
Wait, could we have our guests to speak up?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Feedbacks or opinions on our.
So before we end our meeting, actually, I would like to ask our guests for some feedbacks. So Kasim, are you free to give some feedbacks?
Oh, okay. Based on my experience in JB Toastmaster from JB, the District 102, Division G, what from my club I learned and what value I can give is about maybe the time sequence for your role, role playing, and also the speeches should be controlled, because I know that very charming the meeting and very useful. However, the time sequence may lead you to the time disqualification in the competition. Yeah, this is just my simple reminder. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Kasim.
Yeah.
Thank you for your feedback. So yeah, before we end this meeting, I will have a quick announcement. It's about our club. So we are slowly, I believe you can all see my screen right. We are slowly, our club is slowly transitioning the information channel to Discord, where we can have a lot of channels for different types of information. So wait, these toaster groups will still be operating, but any information we will send here first, then I will channel it into this Discord for future reference. So I will send a link for you guys to join this Discord, so you guys can have a more clearer picture of all the Toastmaster events or clubbing opportunities. I've categorized it based on the types of the activities. Yeah, that's it. How could I stop sharing? Yeah. So
Yeah.
back to Ken.
Yeah, okay. So thank you. So everyone, please take note. So we are actually transitioning to the Discord channel for sharing of information about Toastmaster. So if you all are interested in this sort of clubbing opportunities, you can actually join with the link later of our Toastmaster meeting for today, meeting 312. And I hope you all have a great time here, and good night to you all. And I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.